Hey everybody, this is Daryl McKell. Hey everybody, this is Daryl McKell Brooks. I'm here on the On Fire Show, and I got a special guest, Brother Darwin Cooper. He is running for assemblyman in the first district of New Jersey. He's been a conservative and a conservative activist, especially on Facebook. He's been attending a lot of different events, and I'm going to bring him on. Brother Darwin, you're invited. I'm going to add you on. Yes, this is the On Fire Show. We're going to interview Darwin Cooper Jr. He's running for state assembly in the first district.
Daryl, what's up,
How you doing? How you doing, brother, man? How you doing?
Playing.
You look good. You look good. You look good. So, Brother Darwin, tell us a little bit about yourself. And you're running for state assembly in the first district down in deep South Jersey. And tell us how you got started. People probably don't know who you are. Some may do, some may not. But the guests and people are watching all over the state and we're all over the country. So tell us about who you are as a candidate and as a person.
How you doing, guys? Daryl, I want to say thanks for inviting me on. I appreciate it. I know you got a busy schedule, so the fact that you invited me on, this is I'm honored. I'm truly honored. But I'm originally from Bristol, New Jersey. Just recently moved to Vineland. Been in politics all my life. Family's been involved with politics. Believe it or not, they were big Democrats. And I left that Democrat plantation a long time ago. Some still upset at me. We holiday dinners are tough, but we managed to get through them. But like I said, what intrigued me about running for office in this upcoming race was it's a lot of dark times we have right now in the state, the country, the state, and in our counties. And excuse my French, but to pussyfoot around things right now, I just couldn't. It would be wrong, and I think it would be wrong for me not to run. And we need common sense governing back in where I'm from in Trenton, our state house, but throughout the whole nation. Thank God for Trump for bringing some of that common sense governing back. That's why a lot of the establishment folks cannot handle him, because he's not he's not a normal politician. So, and I think we need more of that in our regular, from community spots all the way to the federal level, congressional seats and everything else.
So tell us, when did you exactly get started, and especially as a Trump supporter?
At first, originally, I was a Dr. Ben Carson fan.
Mm-hmm.
I was working on, I was pushing for Ben, and Ben dropped out the race, and he endorsed Trump. But I always was torn between the two. I didn't know who I would go with.
Mm-hmm.
With Trump and Ben. So once Ben finally fell out and he endorsed Trump, I was in 110% behind President Biden. And it's tough being an African, you would know, being a conservative, first of all, also being a Trump fan at that.
Yeah.
And as an African American, it's really, really tough. I face turmoil every day. But I think our president's doing a hell of a job, and hopefully he continues the good work despite the unprecedented opposition that he faces every single day.
Yeah, talking about being an African American and a conservative, I started with the Tea Party movement, and that was kind of hectic, and that was kind of hectic and wild, being with the Tea Party movement. But we got to understand that we're different. We're all not the same. All not monolithic voters, people. And so, one of the things is that, being a conservative or independent, it's tough. And you see what's happening in the inner city. When you see the educational system is in these inner city areas and the suburbs. You have kids that are graduating 12th grade with a 4th grade reading level, math level. When you see the violence that's taking place, the educational system, the jobs, you see the criminal justice system, the problem that we have, especially in the state of New Jersey. It's terrible, and all controlled by the Democratic Party. So,
Exactly.
And it's controlled by the Democratic Party. So, one of the things, I like to ask brothers like yourself, what is your main concern running for state assembly, your main concern for New Jersey residents? What is the things that you stand with?
my main concern is, one, we need more jobs. Some of these areas, like you just inner city communities, are in turmoil from education, jobs, healthcare, and everything in between. And I have a couple of proposals that I have that I would like to
tell us.
To get into. One is the River Line, which is basically a lot of like you mentioned earlier. I'm in deep South New Jersey, so the jobs here is very limited. A lot of the good jobs are a little farther north, Camden, Philly, and so on. So we have a River Line, which I would want to, because a lot of people down here who want to work don't have the transportation to get up that far. So I would want to bring a proposal to connect that River Line which is going towards Wildwood. Individuals who have no hop on that right off and all the ports where that connects. That's one way to get it working. Because you always hear people say, "Oh, I'm gonna bring jobs back to the city, back to the town, back to the county." Sometimes those places are just done.
Mm-hmm.
It would have to move on. Some, hopefully we can rebuild them, but some places. They would never, you could bring it back, but there'd never be that old town that it was, 25, 30 years ago. So that's one proposal. But second proposal, the inner city, you have to have trust with them because they don't trust nobody. Gangs, a lot of, fatherless households, moms doing everything by themselves. So I would bring a lot more educational outreach programs because that takes to raise a child, and second, people busy, they can't get into some trouble, and that takes money. Different grants. I would definitely propose different grants. I have somebody on my team, a grant writer, and we need different. We have some really nice programs now in my area, but that's not everywhere. So definitely would bring.
Tell us about the landscape in Cumberland County. Is that a more so farming area?
Big agriculture, yeah. Big farming, but that's, like I said, we have a lot of Hispanic workers who do that. That's pretty much covered. You don't have a lot of, I could count on my hand how many non-Hispanic workers who work in the field that do that type of work, but that's also an employment opportunity right there. Not a big one, but it's a smaller one. Very agricultural farmland landscape down here in Legislature 1, which I'm running in. But we have so much opportunity down here. We have a lot of property here taken over, and we have so many resources down this area that it's just sitting. Democratic stronghold, like you said, and it's just sitting. We have a beautiful golf course, Cohansey Golf Course in Bridgeton, New Jersey. Which is now looks like a picture out of the Jungle Book. State control of it, and it's gone down the drain.
Okay. So some of the things that you were talking about, you pro legislation on marijuana. Tell us about that. I know you're running as a Republican, and there's not too many Republicans, especially in New Jersey, talking about marijuana and legalizing.
And that's it definitely brought up some turmoil around some of my Republican friends and colleagues, and I think that the pros outweigh the cons on this barrel with the legalization of marijuana, and I'm going to tell you why. One, it would be, if once New Jersey does approve it, because I'm sure it will happen, we have medicinal use approved, we just waiting on recreational, but once recreational is approved, it would be, the marijuana itself would have one of the lowest taxes on it in the nation. So that's one thing. It will also be a big revenue jump, and it would help the budget crunch state that we're in. We're in horrible budget crunch, and that will bring a lot of revenue to the state. Also, the injustices that are going on. You would probably know African Americans are 5 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana than Caucasian person. And that's the same possession, the same amount, and that's not right. And we got to speak on it. I'm fighting for all, not just one-sided. I'm for everyone. And I just think it would bring down those injustices, and it would also have a big, massive revenue jump. I was reading something about Colorado. People have all, they have bad stuff to say, but 2016, I want to say, had a revenue jump from marijuana, just marijuana, $214 million. So I definitely see the good it would do. And a lot of people want it themselves. Like I said, I hear a lot more pros.
Yeah. So we talk about the justice system, and you see what the bill he signed, to dealing with the incarcerations. And Prison Reform Act, and that's that's exciting because one of the things that I always talk about how Trump is a racist, he cares nothing about poor people, and the Prison Reform Act bill directly affects African Americans and poor people.
It does, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was just having a conversation with somebody about that. And they were shocked. They were like, I hit them with the Prison Reform Act because we were going against, the pros and cons of Trump. And I hit them with some factual pros. And they said, wow, he said, that's really not going to help anybody. I don't know where he got that from, but it did help. A lot of individuals, there's individuals who was serving time, life in prison. But they've been pardoned with this Prison Reform Act. It's amazing because they probably, just think of it, individuals of color, lower income and lower status, and Trump comes in and bam, we have a
and that's one of the amazing things because when Trump ran against Hillary Clinton, and I don't know if you probably know about this, but under her husband Bill Clinton, he signed the '94 crime bill that over 1 million African Americans went to jail.
Yeah, took a lot of fathers away from their families, and it was a perpetuating cycle, which hurt the inner city really bad. Bill Clinton, what was the name of that act he signed? I forgot the
crime bill, '94 crime bill.
Yeah, and if you got caught with a dime bag, you did 40 years in prison.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was crazy, and
you can't forget that. And people don't know that, they're so focused, like you said, Democratic stronghold, and Hillary called some of those individuals super predators. I think you remember that. So it's really, really, really sad, and we got to give them. That's one thing. Prison Reform Act is one big thing that I'm also fight for my legislative district, District 1.
I was with a couple individuals at the State House, and in Trenton, and we was talking to some of the Assembly people, Senate people, and they and to me they were so ill-informed about what's really happening in our state, and people were talking about the taxes, the educational problems that we have. And there are people now, like I said, a good friend of mine, Barbara Gonzalez, and some other ones have basically left the state of New Jersey because the taxes are so high. As a state assemblyman, what would you do to basically put a stop to that, or deal with that issue with you have taxpayers deciding to leave who spent years, their life in the state of New Jersey, and now they can't afford to stay in New Jersey.
Exactly. I just read, I'm sure you've seen the article, it just came out not too long ago on the mass exodus that Jersey is having. Jersey, and I read in there, and I can't remember the top 5, but I'm going to try to name a few. One was corruption. Taxes. I guess I guess that was a big number because people voted on it, but being able to pump our own gas. But obviously taxation outweighs all of them.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of unnecessary taxes that we have gone, and this goes back to what I would bring, common sense government. Some of these taxes are unnecessary and can go. You can also get into the potatoes of certain taxes. Comes down to schools, older individuals. You don't have any children in the schools. Proposals back, because I get a lot of people come to me and say, "Coop, you know what? I'm gonna vote for you, but my tax is ridiculous, and I don't even use. It doesn't even benefit me half of the things I'm paying."
Yeah, you're right.
So, so
Yeah, you know, you're definitely right. And one of the things that I had a conversation with some conservatives, we had a meeting a week or two ago, and you know, what are, you know, some of the main issues that that individuals, Democrats, Independent, can work with conservatives about, meaning voters. And you know, we talked about the surcharges, and we talked about, you know, people, they get suspended license, they got to pay thousands of dollars back, and the surcharges is it's just it's just crazy. And one of the things that, you know, talking about is the illegal immigration problem. Now here we have a governor who wants to give illegals free education, then he wants to give them a free license, and we have our own Americans in New Jersey that can't afford to go to college, maybe have 2 or 3 kids, and you know, basically can they afford to send their kids to community college, if that. But we have a governor who wants to give them free education, college education, but also give them free license. It doesn't make sense. And one, no, it doesn't make sense. And I think that's one of the things that, you know, it's a key issue. And I guarantee you the next governor's election, the state assembly election, like, you know, what is our governor thinking? And also the Second Amendment. You know, there's a lot of people that are probably going to watch the show and who are Second Amendment fans. And, you know, what is your issue with the governor giving free education to illegals, driver's license, free license, and also the Second Amendment issues? Where do you stand on Second Amendment?
Well, I'll go back to the illegal immigration part. Gibbon or Murphy, I call him, because he's giving away everything, yes, and forgetting about his own citizens of the state of New Jersey and putting his own people first. But it's absolutely horrific to propose that when we have, like you said, our own Americans here who cannot get a driver's license, who it's just almost incredulous. But we can't be surprised because he did campaign on this stuff and say what he was going to do, and our people, New Jerseyan people, still voted him in, and that's a scary thing. But I'm definitely against giving illegal immigrants driver's license. I'm against when he just put into like some kind of law fund. I don't know if it's $5 million, $6 million for illegal immigrants to come here to have the lawyer from our state of New Jersey defend them through their process, I guess, residents or whatever, which is ridiculous. Our taxpayer money is going to defend somebody who came over here the non-rightful way. But again, I'm against it. I will fight him on every step. In my district, not make it a sanctuary city, sanctuary county, sanctuary state, but she's already going on. You know, it's already a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong. And like I said, I'll stand up to Murphy on every proposal that is against the residents of the state of New Jersey. It's not right. Second Amendment. Second Amendment guy. I'm a big gun guy myself, believe it or not. Actually won a couple firearms awards. Love to shoot. My biggest thing to fight for is concealed carry. It's proven fact that concealed carry works. I mean, you go to Georgia, you go to Virginia, you look at the stats over the years, a lot of those places have a lower crime rate than people who cannot carry concealed. I read an article the other day, 70-year-old lady shot and killed somebody who was trying to rob her. And again, I want criminals to think twice. My mother, my grandmother, I want criminals to think twice before they do that because they don't know who's carrying.
Yeah.
So I'm a big amendment guy. Like I said, my biggest fight is concealed carry. I want everybody who go through the proper steps, education and training, to be able to carry concealed weapons, firearms throughout the state of New Jersey. You know, we're about 20 minutes to Philadelphia. If you're a Philly resident, or Pennsylvania, you can go to Pennsylvania, sign a couple paperwork, and you're good. You can still carry, and it takes about an hour. You go shop and come back, and you're set. So I just want to bring some of that common sense government back to our state.
You know, one of the things that, you know, I always talk about, the concealed carry, how you know, everyone should have a right to protect themselves, their family, their property. And it seems like this governor and especially the state Democrats, they seem not to, they don't seem to understand that. They're totally against what the protection, God-given right to protect ourselves. You know, and coming up, you know, a few days, you have Martin Luther King Day event, and all, and I like to talk about this. Is Martin Luther King applied to get a gun license in Alabama, and he was denied. And yeah, he was denied to have a gun license. And you know, I talk about the deacons of defense and individuals that protected Martin Luther King at his marches and protests. Now, here's a man, he's a man of peace, but he also believed in the gun and protecting his family because his house was bombed. And so he decided, I'm going to, he has a right to protect themselves. And it seems like the liberals and the liberal left there, to me, it would seem like they're at war with the Republican Party or any type of conservative that believes in especially the Second Amendment. And, you know, it's nothing, you know, wrong with protecting yourselves. And if you look at probably the governor and any of those state leaders, you know, they have armed individuals protecting them.
24/7.
24/7. So, you know, let's get back to your own personal life. You're a family man, married. What type of work do you do?
Family man. I have a security business and a courier business.
Okay.
So, me and a couple guys are out driving up and down the state, majority South Jersey, and I do security for have a company which we do different venues and stuff for different halls and different events. So family man, like I said, and that's another thing. Looking at my son, this gender thing we got going on. How can I protect him from that? I mean, we got so much more important things going on, and we got Murphy coming down talking about. I think starting in February, we're going to have, or there'll be 3 or 4 more opportunities you can check on the birth when they, you know.
It doesn't make sense. You know, you're trying. You know, to me, you're a male or a female, and it's the politics. And it's the politics of what's happening with the liberal. I mean, that's the same way Hillary Clinton lost. You know, talking about, you know, you have transgender, you have men that can dress up like women and go into a Target bathroom. You know, it doesn't make sense. And, you know, it's like they're turning, first of all, they're turning their back, you know, politicians like that are turning their back on God and family. And you have kids who are, you know, growing up trying to figure out, okay, what's really happening?
If I had a daughter, I have a son, but if I had a daughter, I couldn't imagine what would happen. You know, you got some guy walking in there just because he identifies as that. He shouldn't even be in the same stall or bathroom as her. And it's like I said, it's incredulous how some of these individuals think. I don't get it.
You know,
my head and
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Me and Michael Rectenwald, professor at NYU, and the idea is that, you know, you're going to decide that, you know, you don't want to be you're a male, but you don't want to be a male. You want to be a woman. That's like saying that, you know, look at the moon. The moon is not the moon anymore. It's the sun, and the sun is not the sun anymore. It's the moon. It's crazy, and you know we're talking. Yeah.
It just goes on and on. I was reading something. A high school wrestling student was beating all the kids on the team because it was a male. It was a male on a female wrestling team. But he identified himself as a female, so he got to wrestle with the female team. And he's beating, he's wrestling, he's winning trophy after trophy. What you expect?
Yeah, and the same thing. I think it was in somewhere in north, somewhere up north, where they have 2 track stars. Both are two males, born male. They decided they wanted to be a female, and now they're winning all the track games. You know, and young girls are like thinking, okay, I am a female. I am a naturally born female. And to allow a boy who decides he wants to be a girl, and so allow him to run in the track and field.
The track race.
And then
all different types of ways.
And then you said, I talked the funniest thing, you got the Etsy Awards and how Bruce Jenner decides, you know, he wants to dress up like a woman and turn himself into Caitlyn Jenner, and he wins the Arthur Ashe Award. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't have nothing against those individuals. That's their prerogative. But when you start pushing it on individuals who don't want it to be pushed on, that's when it becomes a problem. And I think, like I said, we have our constitutional right. If we don't like it, we don't like it, and it shouldn't be shoved down our throats, just like homosexuality. And you know, we're not homophobic. We don't hate gays. I just think it's their prerogative, and it shouldn't be pushed down, because that's what we're doing. Kevin Hart just got kicked off the Oscars. He couldn't host them because of what he said several years
And he
back.
apologized, but they still not happy.
And he still couldn't do it. That's what I mean is being pushed down our throat, and it's not fair to the Americans who have our God-fearing agenda.
Now, back to the race. Who is are you running with someone, right, in the state assembly? Or you just...
Not...
So, because it's usually two candidates, right?
It's two seats
open.
Right now, if you want to go GOP-wise, it's myself and another individual running. Rumor is there might be several other Republican candidates to declare, but so far they haven't declared, and it's just myself. It's myself and another guy. I feel it in my heart to where even if I don't get the nomination, I run it. I know it's tough to win as an independent, but we pretty much have the support. We have a good team so far that we put together that we will run. I will run as an independent if I don't get the nomination. But so far, we'll see how it goes. Or behind me to get the nomination. A lot of people want me to get the nomination.
Oh, definitely. You got my support.
Yeah. And we should see how it goes. We should see. We should see how it goes. Hopefully it all works out.
Who are the type voters that you're reaching out to? Going to be reaching out to?
I'm reaching out to all, Darryl. Most of the time, you get too many people get caught up in their own party, and they right wing, they become left wing. I'm a conservative guy, but I have common sense too, and we can agree to disagree. And I'm reaching out to. I want to help my millennials. I want to help the elderly. I want to help my Hispanics. Everybody who I can help. And even if you don't vote for me, I still want to help you. So hopefully I can reach out to a broad variety of people, and we can all agree, and we can agree to disagree. So hopefully.
So who are your candidates who are running against in the Democratic Party? And, how did that happen? That the seat, open seat.
Democrat Party assembly race. I know there's 3 individuals. I don't know if you want to get the name.
No, you have to name them.
Yeah, but there's 3 individuals running for 2 seats. And they're going to be tough. But here's the thing. They're career politicians. Some of them want to be voted in. Some of them are voted in and want to be voted in a higher elected position. But they haven't done anything over the mass years they've been in public office. They haven't done anything. It's still the Democratic stronghold. The county's still in shambles. The state is still in shambles. And like Einstein said, the definition of insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's why I'm trying to get my voters' head to wake them up, to let them know we need new blood, we need fresh ideas, we need common sense govern. Back to New Jersey, as you can see, our governor who has lost his marbles of all the things he's proposed. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully my constituents and all individuals who live in Legislative District 1 will wake up. A lot of following. My page is almost at 1,000 followers on my Darwin Cooper Jr. for Assembly. Go follow it if you would like. But we're almost at 1,000 followers. We get a lot of feedback on everything I post, messages, comments, and people are tired. I get messages every day saying, "We need you," and I'm there for them.
So
I'm here for. I'm ready to saddle up and get ready for the fight.
So the concerns of the voters and people that come talk to you or send you emails are issues taxes. Is it taxes, corruption, or what's the main issues?
Main issue is you got a lot of illegal immigration concerns. You have a lot of taxation concerns. Like you brought up, inner city youth. We have a lot of turmoil in our inner city. And like I said, I tell them, I don't claim to sit up here. A lot of these individuals I'm running against, they claim to sit up here and they know everything. Nobody knows everything. I don't know everything. I'm young, I'm new, but I have the passion to sit down with everybody to hear their concerns, and we can come to some type of agreement. And that's what I'm here for, to sit down and come to some type of common sense agreement, and hopefully that resonates with the individuals who have those taxation concerns and all the previous things that I mentioned. So
what are some of the cities in your district?
Vineland, Millville, Atlantic County only has like a few townships.
Okay.
Cape May County is in it.
Okay.
Cape May is pretty big. A lot of cities and towns in Cape May County, and a lot of cities and towns in Cumberland County, which I'm in, Cumberland County. So they're the two big counties that I would have to, which I am reaching out to and try to, hopefully my message would resonate with those individuals in those aforementioned counties.
Have any of the GOP leaders have came to talk to you, made a phone call to you, had a discussion with you?
Well, the one county I'm in, I have a open door relationship with that GOP chairperson. Cape May County, I haven't reached out. I know I have to reach out to him to inform him about my declaring for the race. But like I said, the one GOP person in my Cumberland County, I have an open door relationship. Can reach out to him, call him anytime. We had a few dust ups, but it is what it is. It's human nature. But we should see how it goes. Like I said, I have to reach out to the Cape May County chairperson, and so far everything is good. I knock on wood, it keeps going forward, and I just hope the message resonates because the common sense people are tired. Some individuals who just so focus on their party. That's another bad thing. We start voting by party when we should vote by the right candidate. And he's a Democrat, I'm gonna vote for him. He's a Republican, I'm gonna vote for him. He's a Libertarian, I'm gonna vote for him. No, we need to start voting for the right person. And then I think we'll see some significant changes in our city, state, and county.
You've worked with Seth Grossman. How was that experience with Seth Grossman?
Oh, I love Seth. Seth just hit me up. He reaches out to me like once a month. Not even once a month, once a week or every 2 weeks. And he's a very intelligent man. I really wish we had him in D.C. right now, but we have Jeff Van Drew, who's already proven us wrong. It was an amazing experience. It was I learned a lot of things working on Seth's campaign, and he's a great man, and hopefully he runs again pretty soon as well.
Yeah, and so talk about the future. What do you think of the future of our state government and also national government? It's people all over the state, especially young people in these areas. I'm from the Trenton area. I'm in Burlington, and I've seen Camden, and especially parts of South Jersey. The young people are kind of disappointed in politics and the politicians. They don't see a great future for America, and especially for New Jersey.
Yes, my millennials. That's myself.
Millennials.
I'm a millennial.
Okay.
We don't want. I think it's like 85% of millennials could care less about local elections. They barely come out on presidential elections, but they can care less. And I think they feel that way because they feel that they have been forgotten. That's the conversation I have with them because I talk to them on a daily basis, and a lot of them are excited I'm running because the biggest thing is the legalization of marijuana. They're excited about that. I do have the most support behind me, and I thank God. But I just we feel that we've been forgotten. That's why I tell these millennials, and you see it just now with this young mass of congressional representatives who just been voted in. A lot of young individuals, and that's because they reached out to those millennial voters who felt they have been forgotten by the establishment on both sides, Democrat and Republican. They just want to be felt like they're included and involved, and their opinions matter, and they feel left out. And if we can change that and get them more involved, that's why I tell every single young person, millennial, start running for these seats. That's the way we're going to change it. We could sit back and die, or we could stand up and fight. And I tell them, start running for these seats. If you lose, run again. And that's my main advice to them. Start running.
All right.
And a lot of in the Congress are, a lot of the older representatives are upset. They feel they will lose to these individuals. That's proven fact. I just watched something the other night. Some guy said some nonsense stuff. He's been an elected official for 100 years, and some 25-year-old beat him just past.
Wow. I mean, that's exciting. I ran for Congress myself, and then ran for United States Senate. I'm kind of in Trenton. I mean, I was running in my 30s and early 40s. And I'm the first African-American from Trenton to run for Congress and the first person from Trenton to run for United States Senate in 2008. And you know, one of
Right.
the questions that I used to get was you know, well, you're too young to be running for Senate. Well, that's why I tell them. Well, Joe Biden ran when he was 31, and he won, you know, United States Senate at 31 in Delaware. So, you know, how am I too young? And a lot of older people that are in office or people who work with these individuals feel that, you know, young people, we don't have at the time, you know, we don't have a lot to say. We're young, we're not knowledgeable, we don't know history, and we don't have the experience. But if you look what's happening now all across the state of New Jersey and all across the country, you know, individuals that have had the experience and been in office for 40, 50 years, you know, nothing has changed. You know, I tell people, well, listen, why are you, look at the inner city, look at the educational system, look at the jobs, you know, you look at the violence, look at the crimes. People are leaving the state of New Jersey. And it is crazy.
You're right. Some can't relate. That's a big part of it. These congressional candidates, and I ain't talking about race. I'm just talking about age and knowledge. Some of them are 100. You know, they're older. Mm-hmm. They can't relate to the millennials anymore, and they just need to change. But back to you said, we get a lot of that in both parties, the Democrat and Republican, like you just mentioned. Mm-hmm. It's not yet to run.
Yeah.
It's not time yet. We got to throw that. That's politics of the past. Mm-hmm. We put that out the window. It is our time. If you feel that you want to run, get up, fill the paperwork out, and that shows me I give you credit for that right there, just stepping up to run. And I get that a lot. People saying, "Well, the party chose me to run," mm-hmm. and I don't support that person because to me that's an establishment candidate. Mm-hmm. They won't be people. They're going to be a puppet. They're going to have puppet master controlling them and doing what they're going to do for their big donors or for the GOP or for the Democrat Party. And I feel it's more genuine of the person who comes out and themselves and say, I'm going to run for office. And like I said, there's a Democrat guy, Richard Ohio, I think I'm saying his name. He caught my eye. He's dedicated. He's passionate. I think he's going to run for, it's going to be tough. I think he's a presidential candidate, Democratic presidential candidate. But at least he stepped up to the plate.
He ran against
Texas.
Did he run in Texas, right? Did he run against?
Again, Richard Ojeho, the J is silent, I think, but he's very passionate and dedicated. Mm-hmm. He was a armed service member, and he really has some good ideas, and he's not far left or far right. He's in the middle, common sense, mm-hmm. I call it, common sense government.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'd like to, thank you for coming on. Is there anything you want to say to the audience and to the people that is watching?
I just want to say thank you too, Darryl. Thank you for letting me have on. I just say, guys, if anybody in Legislative District 1 is listening, or if you have family members in the Cape May County or Cumberland County area, just tell them that Darwin Cooper Jr. is running for Assembly in Legislative District 1. We need change. We need common sense government. We have to bring it back. Politics of the past is gone. If you're looking for that type of politics, I'm not your man. Bring government. I'm going to reach out to everybody who needs help. We have really good proposals ready to go. If you give me a chance, because again, you've been voting these same individuals in for 50 years, and you're still in the same horrible, shamble prediction. And if you want that to change, you got to vote other people and give them a chance. Darryl, I appreciate you for letting me come on.
All right, thank you. And thank you for coming on. You're welcome to come on anytime. And what's so important is that you're also a Second Amendment man, and a lot of this. I'm going to send this out to a lot of Second Amendment groups to listen and hear what you have to say, hear what you were saying, and that's so important. And also, I tell people, listen, they can go if they're in North Jersey and they see this, and they can go down and help you out for an election. They send money. Mm-hmm. That's what they can do. Tell their friends, share all this.
Hey, I appreciate all help is good help, and it's going to take a village to win, because we're going against very tough opponents, which they still have that locked mindset on a lot of their constituents, and hopefully they can wake up too.
Mm-hmm. All right, my brother, I thank you for coming on, and God bless. And I know you definitely should win and do a great job. And you can
thank you, Darryl.
Okay.
Brother, take care.
How y'all doing today? This is Darryl McKell Brooks of the On Friday Show, and that was my man Darwin Cooper. He is running for state assembly. Yes, state assembly in the 1st District. That's down in Cumberland County. And you know, I want you all to support him. Go to share this with all your friends. And on Facebook, tell everybody all about. He's an intellectual. He's a smart guy. You know, he's out here doing changes. He supports our president, and it's very important that we get a candidate, a state assembly that supports our president. He supports legalization of marijuana. He is a Second Amendment man, and you know he's against sanctuary cities, sanctuary state, sanctuary county. You know, he's against the immigration receiving license free, just give them license. He's against the issue of immigration getting free education, because it's about us as a community. We should support our own Americans first. Americans first, state New Jersey, Americans first. There's nothing wrong with that belief. You know, and Darwin is my man. I'll bring him on anytime to come on and talk about it. And it's about winning and a generational change that makes it best for our communities in the next generation. I'd like to say also, any of y'all would like to you're going to send your here, please support the On Fire show. Support the GoFundMe page. We only raised about $112. We're trying to raise some more money so we can get a studio. Working on a studio and getting 3 mics and lights and headphones. We need all the support where you can. Please support the On Fire show. Go to the GoFundMe page and give what you can, and this is the show for you. And we reach out to thousands of people every week. And tomorrow we have Pastor Greg Locke coming on. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee. He's going to be an exciting guest. He is coming on at 7 o'clock. And like I said, support the brother Darwin Cooper Jr. He is running for a state assembly in the 1st District. And he's about change and changing community and making New Jersey strong again. He is about lowering taxes, and people that are leaving the state of New Jersey in droves. You know, he's against that, and he wants to help out New Jersey voters stay in New Jersey, and by lowering their taxes and making it comfortable for New Jerseyans to live. That's important, that we have a state assemblyman that will fight for us and make it comfortable for us to live here in New Jersey and not leave and go down to Florida where it's nice and hot and sunny. So I'm just saying, it's hot and sunny here, but we love the cold weather here in New Jersey. But support Darwin Cooper. You can go to Florida for hanging out in the summertime, or go, for what is it, vacationing in Florida. But we got to come back to our state, make New Jersey great again. I think that Darwin Cooper is on the right track, and please support him. But support the On Fire show so we can have him on constantly, and other guests who are like-minded, like Darwin Cooper, and other ones who are supporting the On Fire show and support our type of movement. This is your station, your show. Thank you. We have $112. Listen, please give what you can. You can give $5, as much as you can, to the On Fire show. If you can make it great again, make it great again by supporting the On Fire show. And listen, you want to come back to New Jersey. Sean said he wants to come back to New Jersey. Sean, we want you to come back to New Jersey. And Darwin Cooper, when he gets elected, he'll make it available for you to come back to New Jersey. But come back to New Jersey and help Darwin Cooper out. I will be helping him out. And we want all the residents and our conservatives and independent thinkers and young people help Darwin Cooper out, support Darwin Cooper Jr. Go to his Facebook page, like what he's doing. Okay, this is the On Fire show, and God bless. I just want to say that, my speech about Martin Luther King Day is coming up on the 16th, and his birthday. And, I always quote Martin Luther King when he says this. He says, "We're all caught up in this great inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny, and whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly, and that I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be, and you can never be what you ought to be unless I am what I ought to be." Then he quotes John Donne and says that no man is an island, every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Then he goes on to say that any man's death diminishes me because I am involved in mankind. Therefore never send to know whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. And that's what Darwin Cooper is all about, what I just quoted from Martin Luther King. He is about our state and our people, and making New Jersey strong again, making sure our residents get a just due and lower taxes, and making sure our kids get educated. You know, our kids in where the inner city is suburb, black and white, in certain areas in New Jersey are graduating from the 12th grade with 4th and 5th grade reading and math, and that's not acceptable. You know, we're pushing our kids to be like, I always call it the service workers generation, who are, only thing they can do is work at Walmart, work at Target, work at Amazon, making 13, 14 hours an hour, and thinking that's a good job. And so we need to support individuals like Darwin Cooper, who will support our educational system and who will fight for you as voters in New Jersey, okay? So I thank you all. God bless. And support the On Fire Show. Put it up one more time. Go to the GoFundMe page. Give what you can, 5 or more. Right. And share this message with your friend, Darwin Cooper, the Second Amendment fan. I love that brother. Peace.